everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Andy, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you about 10 things that will most definitely get you kicked off of my flight. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm a 26-year-old South African flight attendant based in Johannesburg, and I like to make tips and advice videos about how I navigate this crazy flight attendant life. So if you happen to find my content at all educational and or entertaining, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss more of my content. So you know how we always see those videos on the internet of people getting kicked off of flights and, you know, just doing the most and maybe cussing at their flight attendants and this and that. A lot of people never really know why those type of things are happening. So I'm here to come and tell you guys just of 10 basic things that if you do them, you will probably get kicked off of a flight. This is obviously following South African flight rules. I'm not sure how these work in other countries, but I'm pretty sure these are pretty standard. I'm pretty sure you'll get kicked off for most of these, or at least arrested once we land at our destination. So yeah, let's get into the video. First thing that will get you kicked off of a flight, and this is the most commonly known one, is smoking. Of course, you cannot smoke on a plane. This rule has been in place for years now, and I know that some smokers can get a little bit cranky, especially if there's a delay, if they've been sitting on the ground unable to smoke for hours and they still have to go through an entire flight without smoking. It might be tougher for you, but please just respect the airline's rules, because honestly, there's no way around it. If you try to smoke on our flight, we will probably get you arrested once we land. Number 2, do not joke about bombs. This will definitely get you kicked off the flight. This will actually make us as the crew have the entire flight evacuated. Wait, this is if we're still on the tarmac, not necessarily in the air. Once we're on the air, if someone says something about bombs, we will definitely investigate that, and you probably will get arrested for making a bomb-related remark once we land. So just don't talk about bombs. Don't talk about bombs. Not on a plane, not in an airport, not anywhere near aviation at all. We take that very, very seriously. Also, please don't joke about hijackings or guns or having a knife or any type of weapon on board the aircraft, because you will probably end up being restrained and you will probably also be arrested once we land. So just don't joke about stuff like that, guys. Anything that might put your life, the crew's life, or the lives of the other passengers on that aircraft in danger will not be tolerated. So just zip it. Number 4, please do not swear at your ground staff or your cabin crew, because these are things that will very easily get you kicked off of a flight. I saw a video was it a couple months ago or something, where a lady was being asked to get off of a plane here in South Africa because she had sworn at the pilots and the cabin crew. They have every right to not want her on their plane, because do I walk into your office building and start swearing at you because you sent me an invoice 2 hours late? No. So it's not okay for you to walk onto my plane when I am doing the best that I can, when the reason for a delay is probably not even anywhere near my control, and to just be sworn at. That's not a way to go. We're all adults. You choose the words that you say, so please don't cuss or swear at your flight attendants and flight crew. Number 5 is do not get too drunk. Alcohol affects you about 3 times more when you're in the air than what it does on the ground. So if it takes you 6 glasses of whiskey in a normal bar to get tipsy, it'll probably only take you 2 glasses of whiskey once we're in the air to get to the same level of tipsy. So a lot of people don't know this. So this is why I'm saying, just because you know that your number is 6 divided by 3 for when you're in the air, because it does affect you a lot more when you're in the air, just because of the air pressure, I think. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one. Be careful about drinking too much alcohol in the air. That is also a big leading factor in a lot of those passengers getting kicked off of flights videos. That is because they get too drunk. then they get nasty, then they get loud, then they just get disruptive. And if you disrupt an aircraft or a plane or any type of flight operation, you will most likely be kicked off and or arrested upon landing. So be careful. Just wait until you're on the ground to drink, actually. Just wait until you're on the ground. There's no need during the flight. I mean, maybe have one glass of wine or have one whiskey if you really want to relax, but don't start getting silly. Number 6, fighting with other passengers. That will definitely get you kicked off of a plane. No matter how much you disagree with somebody, if you start throwing fists, the likelihood of not only you but probably the other passenger as well getting kicked off of that flight are very, very high. So don't start fights with people, don't pick fights with people, don't respond if people are saying things that really piss you off, especially if you know that the flight is going to end up becoming physical, because if it is during a flight, you will both become restrained and you will both get arrested when we land. If it is before a flight, you will probably definitely both get taken off of that flight and have to make other travel arrangements yourself. Number 7 is a bit gross, and I feel like it shouldn't even have to be stated, but watching porn or any type of like sexual, personal film will definitely get you kicked off of a flight. I don't think I need to say more about that. Number 8, if you do not follow instructions given to you by the cabin crew and or flight crew, you will get kicked off of a plane. And those can be any instructions from take your earphones off, to switch your cell phone off, put your seatbelt on, stay in your seat if there's turbulence, stuff like that. Maybe show me your boarding pass. I don't let people on my flight if they don't have a boarding pass. They need to somehow find their boarding pass. They need to dig through all of their bags until they find their boarding pass before I let them on my plane. So listen to your flight attendants. Just follow the instructions. If they told you that everybody needs to get off the plane, get off the plane. If they tell you everybody needs to fasten their seatbelts now, fasten your seatbelts, please, guys. If you fail to follow these instructions, not only if you fail to follow these instructions, but if you decide to also argue about not following the instructions, or why do I have to do that, or the last flight I was on they didn't make me do that, that's just exhausting. We'll probably just get you locked up. Okay, number 9 is not so much something that we will kick you off of a flight for, but we definitely prefer to not have you on the flight if you are ill. So my very first flight, it wasn't my first flight, it was my assessment flight. When I first became a flight attendant, a line trainer had to assess me and she had to sign me out so that I would be allowed to operate as a flight attendant. And my very first assessment flight, we had a passenger who decided, well, he didn't decide, but who just happened to fall really, really ill during boarding. So we literally, everybody had just boarded, I was busy making an announcement, and then another passenger ran to me and told me about this other ill passenger. We had to go and help him and everything. He did want to continue the trip, but unfortunately we couldn't let him continue with us because he was just too ill. He could barely speak, he could barely focus. So in a situation like that, the rest of my crew and even my line trainer felt it safer for him to rather be taken to a hospital, because I always say that conditions multiply once we're in the air. So he would have been much more sick in the air where there's no ambulance to help him, there's no paramedic to help him, there's just little old me with my AVMED training, and there's not a lot that I can do for someone on that plane. I try my best, we all try our best, but considering what hospitals have and what aircrafts have, there's a huge difference. So if you fall ill in the beginning of a flight, the plane will probably have to be turned around and taken back. If it is in the middle of the flight and you are very, very ill, let's say you have a heart attack or something, the flight will be diverted to a closer airport so that we can get you medical help. And if it is during boarding, then we'll probably try to get paramedics on board to help you right then and there. And if they think that you need more help or more medical assistance and attention, then they'd rather take you to the hospital than let you continue with the flight with us. Then number 10 should be glaringly obvious, but I have seen a few instances where this has happened on the news. Luckily not during my flights, it's been on the news where passengers have opened exits or attempted to open exits on the aircraft. This is not allowed unless you are strictly told to do so by a cabin crew member. Then please do not open any of the exits on the plane. It's not your overwing exits, not your doors. If we're busy taxiing and the doors are armed already and you decide to go and open that door, that will activate the emergency slide, and that thing costs like millions of rands to replace. Just the one slide. So good luck to ya if you decide to go and open that without being told to do so. And if you keep trying to open it and people are telling you don't do it, you'll probably get arrested too. That's it for my video, my 10 things that will get you kicked off of a flight. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're also maybe a flight attendant, please comment down below if there's any crazy thing you know of that can get passengers kicked off of flights. I would love to know. I think it would be so interesting. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Please don't forget to spread good vibes and be kind. Bye bye.